Hello and welcome to Political Theory PS 320 at Folsom Lake College. I am your professor and host, Dr. Selby. I like to say host because political theory is designed to be more of like a conversation or dialogue, right? Not just memorizing facts or something like that. And so as your host, it's my job to kind of like mix the conversation so that, we can have a sort of pleasurable and enjoyable conversation. And so there you go. So here we are. This is Folsom Lake College, Political Theory. I am your professor and host, Dr. Selby. All right. So first things first, this welcome video is an activity, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to create what I call the Political Theory one-pager. And that's a one-page document, front and back, that you're going to do now by hand, okay? And then you're going to post it at your workstation so that whenever you're thinking about doing work and stuff like that, it's going to be a reminder to you about what's coming up and how things are working, etc. So stop. Go get a pen and paper. Okay, seeing that you now have grabbed yourself a pen and paper, let me take us to the course website and take you through essentially the start module. So, this is really me just taking you through and giving you everything you need here in this video, but it's also easily available for you in the start module, okay? This is our course homepage. Actually, I should have published it before starting the video, but this is like the last thing I'm doing before launching our homepage is doing our welcome video. So, all right, on your one-pager, front page of the one-pager, top, Political Theory PS 320, Folsom Lake College, okay? Nice and big at the top of that page. Then, below that, I don't have my name here, I should have put it in here, but Dr. David Selby, S-E-L-B-Y, B as in boy, it's like Shelby with no H, Dr. David Selby, okay? Then here, office hours, Monday, 9:30 to 11:30. You won't have to ask me, it'll be sitting there. When are your office hours? It'll be on your one-pager. It's on the course homepage, okay? If you have other questions, you can always click the contact syllabus fact stuff. There's a lot of stuff there that's helpful, or work your way back into the start module, which you can get from over here, okay? Now, the one thing about this course that I hope to fix soon is that this here, the course map, is fully navigable, but I have not duplicated that yet with the modules. So for the time being, you can only navigate this course using the course map, okay? And what I want you to do next on your one-pager is draw a line underneath the Zoom office hours, right? Draw a line underneath that, and then write, use the course map to navigate the course, and then copy Unit 1, Ancient Political Theory with the dates. Unit 2, Modern Political Theory with the dates. Unit 3, Applications with the dates. Okay? And leave yourself just about yay much at the bottom of the page for talking about some other important things. Just about yay much at the bottom of the page. Okay? That's going to take you a second. Take your hit pause and go do that. And then I do need to kick us out to the start module. Oh, actually, before I go further, just as your, so you can see it, you don't have to put this on the one pager, but so you can see it. Okay, you can right click or you can, there you go. I'm just going to right click it because it's a little bit better. Pulls up, this is your unit page, pulls up a unit page, and the unit page has, whenever it pulls up, a list of the weekly activities, right? So what is political theory? Here's our first week. My computer is working a bit hard right now because I'm processing another video and recording this one. So it's a little bit of an older guy. He's treated me well. Okay. Here's everything you need to do for the week. And notice here you also have time expectations for everything. Okay. You do have 4 hours of work this week. This class is a little bit harder than some of my other classes, just so you know, okay? But let's go back here to the modules, and I will link the start module on the home page to make it even more accessible for you. That's something else I'll do before I launch the course. So here's our start module. Hey, this is everything that's happening. You do not, it is not required to take this intake survey, but I beg of you to do it. By the time you get to this video, you probably have already done it. All right. For your textbooks, you don't need to put this on your one-pager either, but there are 3 things you need to buy, and some of them are important to buy right now, especially this first one, okay? Just hit the Amazon link, pull it up. It's only like 10 bucks. It's super cheap. You gotta buy this first one first. We start reading it next week, okay? So you can get cheap paperback versions. Look how cheap it is. Kindle version is fine. There's some some page discrepancies, but this one if you want to do Kindle, okay? And this is going to be the first thing we're going to read. It's a fun little read. It's the Code of the Samurai. Come on, that can't be bad. And so we're going to have some fun with that. The second thing you need to do is you go to this website and, oh, the cost is wrong on that one. And you buy this thing, which is newly updated, has a whole bunch of extra stuff in it for you. Yeah, you're going slow. My computer's going really slow. So I did increase the cost because I used to, I think I actually went $39. I'll have to double check the cost on that. Yeah, that sounds right. I used to have more other readings, but I went ahead and this summer built out my own set of readings even deeper and further for this course. And that's all found here on Global Lyceum. So that's your textbook. It's not a reading every week. Not all the readings have quizzes yet. I'm hoping to sort of keep up with you guys and be building out the quizzes as I go, but we'll see. I know students are always really excited about more multiple choice quizzes, okay? And you use this course code to buy it. You get the first 2 weeks free, okay? So if you're not 100% sure, that's fine, but 2 weeks and then you have to decide, okay? And then Amazon's just looking it over. I sent it to them like middle of last week, but there is I call it the Political Theory Field Guide. It's a workbook that goes with this course. And it not only takes you through the Global Lyceum readings, but it also takes you through a bunch of readings that we have on Canvas that are primary source readings, readings from the actual time, that I have kind of like jiggered with and edited and made them much more digestible for you. One of the things I discovered the last few years in this class, and it's hard even for professors sometimes, students were really struggling with some of the historical writing styles that are not as easy as modern. So I haven't like really completely updated them, but I've edited and then maybe added a little bit here, and I've done it just to make the readings as clear as possible. And I literally spent my whole summer doing this. Making the workbook, writing more political theory chapters, and also editing the readings to make them much more digestible for you, okay? So just keep that in mind. So those are your course textbooks. This is where you will upload your one-pager. There you go. Now you will go forward. Definitely going a little slow. Weekly schedule. Okay, this is what I want at the bottom of the front page. Friday, course workbooks, videos, other big things are due on Friday. So it's the end of the work week, turn it in. Sunday, discussions, quizzes, other smaller items are due, okay? You're more than welcome to do all of that even earlier in the week. I have no problem with you turning things in early, but you're probably a normal person like the rest of us. You work to deadlines, right? So Friday's the big deadline though. And for Friday, you really need to be logging in. Okay, I have to have the majority of the reading done and the workbook that complements the reading for that week done. Or video notes. Video notes are also due on Friday. Okay. You don't have to have this on your one-pager, but I just wanted to talk to you about how this course, about my learning principles, right? What's the philosophy and approach that I'm really thinking of in this course? And it's probably a bit different from what you're used to, right? Like a lot of our courses, so let's think about this first one here, slow learning. A lot of online courses have a big list, like, and you have 10 things you have to do each week, and each thing's like 20 minutes, and you're like, and you hustle, and you see how fast you can get each one of those 20 things done, right? Because we're all on the treadmill together, right? Okay, we're not going to do that in this course. Each week you have 2 or 3 big things. You're going to do a reading and do the workbook with the reading, and you're going to do it by hand and upload it by hand, just like you're doing here in this video. You're doing it by hand. The workbook will guide you through all of that, okay? And so that's why we're calling it slow learning, okay? I don't want you hustling and just going as fast as possible, because nothing is going to sink in. I want you taking your time. You know, don't be working in a room with 10 other people cooking dinner. That's going to make it hard on you. At a cafe, it's probably fine. You know what I mean? Put on some headphones, sit there at a cafe, you know, have your computer with the reading and your workbook there, and you're going to be, you know, looking really cool, right? Maybe you meet a cute young boy or cute young girl, or, you know, who knows? Crazier things have happened. And you can talk about the interesting course that you're taking. I have a sense of humor as well. Okay, I do think this course is interesting, also, to be clear, but you know, I certainly think that more than you. Okay, so slow learning, right? That's the goal of slow learning. Is we're going to take our time, we're going to reduce distractions, we're going to do it right. Okay, and you do it by hand too. I actually do need to update this page. I have a newer version of this from my other course. It's exactly the same, but I'll just copy and paste it over, which has some links in it that send you to the research. And the research shows that when you write by hand, you learn better. The neural networks in your brain are tighter, and they make you think better, and you retain it better, and you make new interesting connections better. Okay, so it's not just me, it's science. Secondly, repetition. This is something I kind of feel like we miss sometimes at the college level. I'm just gonna have a little drink of coffee. Sometimes that we miss at the college level is this notion of repetition and, you know, going over and doing things again and a second time, again, to help them sink in, okay? So if you've ever played sports or music or lots of other things, right, your coach describes what you're supposed to do. He gives you a model. He shows it to you. And then he doesn't just say, go do it right without practice. He hits you a bunch of balls and you practice your serve return. If you play tennis, right? He's just hitting you balls and you're just sitting there, serve return, serve return, serve return, serve return, which is one of the harder parts of tennis, okay? Repetition. Now, I don't have the opportunity to sit there and hit you balls like that, but in this class, what it's going to look like is you have the workbook. That's one time around. For many of the things you have, if it's on Global Lyceum, some quizzes are already built out. Some of the new material don't have the quizzes yet, but we're almost there. So I'll be working on that. And you have discussions. And then when you get to the end of a unit, you always have a backward-looking, reflective sort of activity for the week. Okay? So you have a backward-looking, reflective activity for the week. So that builds in more of the repetition for you. And in some cases, your workbook, one of the cool things about the workbook is it's a take-home. You get to keep it. You work through that whole thing, put that on your bookshelf, and, you know, think about the good times we had together in class. All right. And then lastly, our third learning principle is metacognition. And metacognition just means thinking about your learning. Okay? So we have several sort of like checkpoints again, where I kind of like, hey, think about like this. Like, you know, did you change your mind at all? What's making sense to you? What isn't making sense to you? Etc., etc. Okay, now this is for the back page. So now we're going to go to the back page of your one-pager. So remember, the front page, you have the political theory, you have the course map, and you have the Fridays and Sundays. Here, top of it, grading and assignments, and just copy all of this down, okay? And I might give you some things to put right next to it to kind of help you as far as like think about being a strategic student. So first, we do have live Zoom videos, which you'll see down here, which you get credit. If you attend, you get extra credit. You have to come to at least just one during the semester. But even if you don't attend, you have to take notes and upload it. But you have a group project that we start about halfway through the semester. part of this is being a good group mate and going to meetings with your group. I have it designed where you don't have to be working everything all together. You can piece it out a little bit, but then you have to come together and put it all together, okay? So you will have to have a couple of meetings with your group, and you're going to have to make time for that towards the back part of the semester. Those weeks, though, I do have reduced activities on other things to give you more time to work on this thing, right? So I'm being nice to you there. And again, you have to attend one of our Zoom sessions live. I call them Cafe Philo, Cafe Philosophy, right? Just to kind of emphasize the host nature of it, okay? But you should be able to get these ones, maximize this grade. All you got to do is show up, and also do some of your work. But like, okay, it shouldn't be a hard ask to ask you to just show up and do your work. I mean, this is college, right? Okay, then on Global Lyceum, you have quizzes. Like I said, I'm still building some of these out. But the quizzes, I curved this grade, so that's kind of nice for you. They're not crazy hard. I'm still building it out a little bit, but you have some Global Lyceum quizzes. You have almost weekly discussion posts. My goal with the discussions is, again, to give you another chance to sort of like go around on the material or sometimes extend out concepts that we're working on. But, you know, they're designed as long as you answer the question in good faith and you put the effort into just like doing whatever is being asked of you, you're going to get full credit here, okay? So, but make sure you do it according to the specifications. And if I've seen more and more students trying to like AI, ChatGPT, their answers. And, you know, if I see that, I'm going to be tough on you because, as you'll see later, I care about plagiarism a lot. So I just want to give you that warning about trying to shortcut the process. You learn zero if your activity is put a prompt into an AI and copy and paste it over. You don't learn anything by doing that, okay? So I'm not going to allow that. There are some times where I allow you to use like AI, but it's within sort of regulated ways and things like that. Video notes and Zoom sessions. So again, we have some pre-recorded videos and some Zoom sessions that happen sort of like through the semester. Our first one will be next week sometime. I haven't pegged the date and time yet. I move the live Zoom sessions around to give people chances to come. So I'll have some during the day, I'll have some at night, I'll have some on the weekends, I'll have some in the mornings, some in the afternoons, right? If there's a time that you really want, please request with me through email, through Canvas inbox. I'm more than happy to accommodate you in most circumstances. This is our group project, okay? So this is essentially our final exam, but we start it earlier in the semester and it builds up. Like I said, there is some, like when I'm expecting you to work on this, I usually have a reduced load that week. And so, you know, as right about week 8 when we start setting it up, the regular reading starts going down a little bit and the project reading starts coming up a little bit, or work. It's not really reading, but of course it will involve reading. So I reduce the regular weekly work as we're working on our projects and getting ready for our finishing thing. And then the workbook, political theory workbook, 40%. Okay, a full 40%. So just keep that in mind. That's the main part of this class, and you got to do it. You know, you do it by hand, and you click. There's directions on how to use the scanner app, and you scan it up. Okay. Let's see. There is some extra credit, right? So, and I curve things and stuff like that. If you come to more live Zoom sessions, I start giving you extra credit on that grade, and that's a really excellent way to earn a decent amount of extra credit. Okay. And then, you know, a lot of these are pretty easy. You should be able to just do it. The way this course is constructed is there's no tricks. There's no gimmicks. There's no questioning what answer does professor want, right? Like the answers are all there. Just go find the answer, do the work, if it takes a little bit of time, that's okay. It means you're learning. It means you're getting better. Okay, so I'm happy to see that. But if you do the work, and you do the work how I ask you to do the work, and you turn it in on time, and all of those things, then you're gonna be successful, and you can get an A. Anyone can get an A. It's a little bit harder than most classes, because just the subject matter is a little bit harder, and this research project means you have to show up and do some things that aren't just all by yourself, all alone. Okay, but just keep that in mind. Let's see. The main, so we did grading and assignments. Next to that, I want you to do course policies. Okay. We already did the contact, so don't worry about that. But just remember, contact me through Messenger only. Okay. The three that I care about here actually are here. So these are the ones I want you to focus on your one pager. Number one, keep it positive. Okay. We're not going to say anything negative or mean about each other. All right. Especially on the discussion posts, discussion boards. This is a class. It's not appropriate to, say nasty things about each other in class. And I will get mad at you if you do that. Okay. Now, what you are, of course, encouraged to do, right, is to say something like, I sincerely disagree. I respectfully disagree. I have just a different opinion on the matter. Things like that. Those are, of course, appropriate ways to present another side of things to people, but I will not tolerate any type of negative talk or misbehavior. Okay, which, to be honest, there's only one class in almost 20 years of teaching that I've ever really had a problem with this, and so I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy overall. You guys are not bad. I'll definitely say that. Late policy. Okay, here's how the late policy works. For the Global Lyceum quizzes, it cannot be late, because you're killing my time if I have to reopen it for you one by one. It takes me 5 minutes for each one of you that I reopen and give you more time on one Global Lyceum quiz. If I have to do it for the whole thing, it takes even longer. Okay, you just can't tax my time in that way. But if you are truly sick, like really sick, okay, fine. I need a note. I need something showing you are really, really that sick. Or if you're in a car accident, or if you're in the military. I had someone already this semester email me, oh, I'm in the military. I'm shipping out, for deployment. I'm like, all right, let me know what you need. You know what I mean? I'm happy to give you extra time to do stuff. That's not a problem. You're going, you're going to be on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Take your time, bro. Right? I'm going to have reasonable accommodations there, but that does not mean I got really busy and I can just ask to take some of Dr. Selby's time. Other things can be done late. You can turn in the workbook late. You can turn in video notes late. You can turn in most of the other things late, but there is a penalty. And the way it works is it's an immediate 10% penalty. So, it'll give you a few hours of a leeway, but basically if I wake up the next morning and it's not done, it's late, right? So most deadlines are midnight but if I wake up, it's got to be in by 6, 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? I got a kid. He wakes me up early, okay? But if you come in at 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that's fine. I'm not going to put late penalty on there. But once it's Saturday, properly speaking, you're going to be late. And it's 10% late penalty, and then every 3 days after that is another 10% late penalty. So Saturday to Sunday, Sunday, Monday, Monday to Tuesday. Okay, now you're going to hit a late penalty, and then another 3 days, another 10% late penalty. I won't drop it below 50%. Like if it's the end of the semester and you missed 4 or 5 things, notes and workbooks and things, and you want to go back and get half credit on all of it, I'm going to give you that credit. It's way better to get half credit than 0 credit, okay? But you still have to go do it. And then plagiarism, I take plagiarism very seriously. In your workbook, you have some practice to do this week, actually, going through and talking about some of these similar things that we're talking about here in the welcome video. And one of them is when and where do you have to properly cite, and how are you going to do that? And that includes especially AI software, right? I'm not going to play around with that. And again, there are some times when AI is more than acceptable, and I indicate those times to you, and I expect you to, I guess that's everything we need. Okay, so on the back side, you have grading and assignments, course policies, just those 3 that I really emphasized, okay? Just those 3 that I really emphasized. And that's what really matters right now. Now, you do have a list of activities for the week. Let me show you that as I wrap up this video. Here we are. We went to ancient political theory. What is political theory? Just our first reading, okay? Political theory welcome video. The welcome video is at 25 minutes right now. You're going to have to take your notes, click a picture, upload it. So it's going to take you another 8-10 minutes, coming in under 45 minutes, okay? Go through the reference section of the workbook. The workbook, like I said, is waiting to be published by Amazon. I sent it to them 3-4 days ago, and they said max 72 hours, which we're going to hit any hour now. So it really should be out today. I really hope it's out today. Today is the first day of class. Sign up for Global Lyceum. Okay, you have one reading on Global Lyceum as well, which is this one. What is political theory? And you do your workbook. I gave you 2 hours for that. And then just a quick discussion. So this week, what are we looking at? 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay? Most of it's due on Friday. Discussion and quizzes are due on Sunday. Don't forget. But this is what your week looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, slow learning, repetition, metacognition. All right? And with that said, let's go have a great semester. I'm excited to be your professor and host.